Hi, I'm Craig, and welcome back to another on-the-road video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com. Today, we'll be showing you how to remove and replace your drain pump on this Frigidaire top-load washing machine. Now, let's begin your repair. Stop. Before beginning any repair, always be sure to disconnect the power to the appliance. It is also recommended to test the outlet for the proper voltage. Remember to also turn off the water. Generally speaking, you can tip the washing machine back in order to access these components, but for video purposes, we have went ahead and laid it down so that we can see everything good and make sure that we get all the tape off. Now, each one of these components, unfortunately, are hardwired. A lot of machines will have it where they just have a Molex connector. You can pop it off and then you take off the actual component and replace it. We have a motor, we have the clutch shifter mechanism, we also have the drain pump here. All of these components, unfortunately, do not have a Molex. Every single one is hardwired. So, to start each one of these repairs, there's a couple of necessary steps that we will have to take in order to remove the pieces. Starting with removing strain relievers, we will have to remove the tape from the wiring harnesses to separate them, as well as the top here has a bag that has all of the Molex connectors to the hardwired components. So, to begin, we'll first start to cut the first strain reliever here. Now, I would recommend leaving it on here. You can just pop it off, but the good thing is, if we leave it on here, you can see exactly where the zip tie was at. So afterwards, you can go through, replace any type of zip ties that you cut so that the wiring harnesses aren't just dangling. So we'll go ahead and cut that one. Next, I recommend finding a tape seam. Once you find the seam, start to unravel your wiring harnesses here. Make sure you have electrical tape in any one of these jobs, as it is highly recommended to rewrap them so that nothing can get snagged. Okay. So as you can see, now we can see where each one of these are distributed. This will be good to follow the wire. So if you got the motor wire, we have the white one, you have two black ones, one for the drain pump, which is here, one for the clutch assembly, which is here. Now the strain reliever on the back here, we're gonna have to use something to kind of pry it apart. Pop it apart. You may break it. This one, I did kind of pop it apart and it snapped, just plastic. There's also one zip tie at the top. I will carefully use my cutters to pop it apart. Once again, leave it in place so that you can see exactly where it was. You will have to remove this white foam. Going around it is sort of an adhesive, so start to peel it apart. That way we can have better access to all of our wiring harnesses. Wow, it's actually stuck in here. So now that we have that, we will untie our bag at the top and we'll drop it down a little bit. Now this bag is to prevent moisture from going on the wiring harnesses, and it also is held on with tape. So unravel the tape, drop the bag down. Now we have clear access to a whole heap of wiring harnesses. Now that we have all the wiring disassembled here, we have clear access to our drain pump assembly and are able to remove it. So if your drain pump is going bad, generally what will happen is you'll hear a humming noise and it just won't drain. Now sometimes the drain pump itself can be clogged with debris, clothing. I see a lot of rug backings, stuff like that. You can take the drain pump off, check inside and check the impeller. Now the impeller should be springy, so when you turn it, it should click back, click back, click back. If it is not springy anymore, chances are there's something wrong with the actual impeller portion of the drain pump. Now, if it is making a humming noise, it is not full of debris, and you do have 120 volts, which you can check at the top of your harness for 120 volts. If you do have the proper voltage, the chances are it needs to be replaced. To replace your unit, first, there are 3 bolts that are on it. We have one here, as well as one very similar that goes on the bottom. Because I have the unit laid down, it is rather difficult to see the one on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a 10mm socket. You can either use a socket set or you can use a long Phillips screwdriver to take this out. But the 10mm socket is going to work best in this position. We have a little slotted area right here. It's perfect for this to feed through. So I'll go ahead and start to remove the bolt. Reach underneath, pull it out. Next, the 2 bolts on the top, we can actually remove with our drill. Go ahead and pull these things out of there. Next, pull it on out. Seems like the tub seal is actually glued, which is very interesting. So make sure to be careful, and if you need to peel any glue off so that it actually seals inside, make sure you do that. If you need to lubricate it at this time. There is one hose clamp that is on here that will need to be removed. Pull the hose clamp down. Now, of course, it looks like they have glued this as well. It's going to be rather difficult. So, what I would recommend doing, instead of removing it from here, is possibly removing it from the back wall. There's one clamp that holds it on the back. That doesn't look like it's glued, and maybe replace the hose that goes with it whenever you're replacing the drain pump. That's just if you want to. If you want to try to pop the glue off, go ahead and try to pop the glue off, but I would be a little nervous of it sealing after that. So we'll take off our back clamp. Try to maneuver this off. I'll use a tack puller to separate it from the plastic. Hopefully this isn't glued as well. There we go, it's coming off. Pop that off. Follow your wiring all the way up. Find the correct connector. This is going to be the red Molex, and again, if you need to test for voltage, you can take the back panel off the washing machine, undo the wiring harness, look for this red harness here with the purple and the light blue, disconnect it, test for 120 volts. If you have voltage and it's still not running and it's not clogged, it'll need to be replaced. Go ahead and pull the assembly out and set it aside. When installing your new drain pump, first, if you need to clean up around here, again, make sure you clean up around the nozzle piece here. Make sure you clean up around there. Maybe use a light detergent around the edges so it slips in okay and makes a good seal. Next, we'll go ahead. First, I'm going to slide in the actual drain pump portion instead of doing the hose first. I'm going to attach the first screw at the top and drill it in place. Second screw installed. Go ahead and just feed in the other one. This one, you can do it by the drill or just start it by hand In this particular situation, I don't really have great access with the screwdriver. So I'll start it by hand, start to tighten the bolt. Good and snug. Make sure you give it a pull. Make sure none of the sides can pull up. We'll go ahead and reattach our wiring harness so we do not forget. Now this is going to look rather sloppy down here. Obviously, you're going to have to fix all of this up, retape it. I'll show you how to retape it afterwards, and make sure you bundle it again at the top. For right now, we'll just let it dangle. We will reattach the hose on the back. I know it's a little difficult to see, but now we will reattach the clamp for the hose. You can use a pair of pliers, or honestly, the clamp isn't too stiff, so I'm able to maneuver it by hand. So I'll just slide it on there by hand. Remove these. Now we can redo our wiring. Now that we have finished any repairs we need to do underneath, obviously the time has come to fix our wiring. Not the easiest thing in the world to do. I'm going to try my best to demonstrate how I would do it out in the field. So basically, first we want to remove this strain reliever. I'm going to use a tack puller, just kind of pop it out of there. Pop that up. See how much room we have. It's going to be difficult to get a zip tie in it. Let's try to get it started. Okay, there's a little bit of a problem. We'll put a tack puller inside of it and try to get it out through the side. Well, it doesn't seem like the zip tie is going to go through with the tack puller. I'm going to try a small flat blade screwdriver. So let's see if I can't weave this through here. So we got it started, at least out, so we have something to bite onto. And what we want to do is pull this all the way so that the head gets to the end. Be careful your wiring. If you're pulling it like I am, you don't want to accidentally cut a wire. So just keep feeding. That's pretty good. We'll pull it all the way to the end so that we can trim the excess. Let's start to bundle the wiring up right here on this portion of the harness. A lot of this stuff is going to get taped up and put inside the bag at the top. So let's just get a nice little strand of tape started. Start to wrap it up. I don't think there's any rhyme or reason or any type of way that you should do this. You're just trying to make sure it's just not flopping around. So we'll give it a nice amount of tape here. Pop it off. The harnesses are just kind of dangling there, so let's go ahead and zip tie this one up. Now, I used a quick release zip tie, probably not a bad idea, so if you need to take it back off, you can take it back off and mess with it, and you don't have to try to weave another one in. Now, let's pull this up, see how much slack we got on all this stuff. There should be quite a bit. All right. Get a nice little hunk of this. Make sure we have all the Molexes that we had previously. Keep pulling, try to get as much slack as you can. All right, a nice little bundle there. Let's tuck it back in this bag. I'll get this old tape off. tuck it back in the waterproof bag here. Make sure the bottom of the bag is pulled all the way down. You want it to kind of have a neck on it. And the reason why you want that is because you're going to tape around that as well. This is to hold it so that the bag doesn't fall off. We'll get a nice little strip. Start to wrap it around. You don't have to do it too tight, because if for some reason you put too much in here and you didn't give yourself enough slack when you're trying to mount it, you need to be able to pull some of the wiring out. So as you can see, mine's tugging a little bit. I'll just pull it down some without pulling it all out. That actually is fitting up there perfect. So we'll mount it up. Bring around our tie. Give it a couple of twists. This is just to kind of secure it to the wall. If you want to wrap this cloth around it, you can. I don't think it's going to stick too well. No. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a little bit more electrical tape just to make it nice and neat. And this is far from perfect. Obviously, do it however is going to work best for you. But just make it look nice and neat up there. We don't want wires hanging down and have the possibility of getting caught on one of the shocks or anything like that where it could strip it down and short it out. That looks good. I'm comfortable with that. We'll pop the bottom wire. Even though our strain reliever is broken, you kind of get the point. We'll pop it in place. If it wasn't broken, make sure you bring it over, snap it in place. And a little ground strap is hanging down some, so I'm going to use another zip tie. And I'm just going to bring it around this entire harness one more time to hold anything that is kind of sticking out. Pull that ground strap through so it's not dangling. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to leave it at that. Cut off the excess from our zip ties. Now we can tip the washing machine back up, and that will complete your repair. Thank you for watching another quality video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com.